Good morning, everybody. Today we're doing 9-8. It is the word problem page, which means time to clean my camera lens. Which means review tomorrow, test on Wednesday. Because hey, I'm a giver. All right. So draw a picture and write an equation. It's quite simple. Some of you are gonna feel like this is a waste of time, to be quite honest, because you'll just know what to do right away. Some of you who struggle figuring out what the heck is going on with these weird word problems might find this useful. So Brad and his father hiked 3 trails. The Gadsden Trail is 9/10 of a mile, the Rosebriar Trail is half of a mile, and the Eureka Trail is 3/5 of a mile. How far did they walk in all? So what they want you to do is they want you to draw a picture. And by a picture, they mean a math picture, which is pretty lame, like this one right here. So the first trail was 9/10, the second trail was 1/2, they switched it over to 5/10. The third trail was 3/5, and they switched that to 6/10. You don't need to put it in common denominators just yet. And then how far did they hike in all? It's the whole thing. So they're saying here's a part, here's a part, here's a part. This is the whole thing. This is their math picture. So what might be new to you is they then want the equation. X is the answer that we're looking for. So the equation is x equals this plus this plus this, which is what they have right here. And then they end up solving the problem. Alrighty. So here is another example. Sandra and Ron are hiking a trail. They have already hiked 1/10 of a mile. How much farther do they have to travel to reach the 3/4 of a mile mark? So I like to think of it in parts and whole. 1/10 is the part. 3/4 is the whole thing. So that helps me figure out, all right, what's my little line right here? It's going to be 3/4. My part is 1/10, and the other part that I don't know yet is going to be the x. If we go back up to the other question, this was a part, this was a part, this was a part. I want to know how much they hike in all. That's how much was the whole thing. So part, 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 and then the whole thing is the x that we're looking for. Here, a little bit different. 1/10 is the part, 3/4 is the whole. So 1/10 along with something else equals 3/4. Now, you could write your equation that way. I could just put 1/10 plus x equals 3/4. That's a little bit harder to solve. If you go to your parents with that equation, they're going to start doing all this weird algebra stuff, and you're going to be like, what the heck? If you think of your fact families, though, it's very simple. What you want to do is think of all the different fact families where the x is on the other side. So we know that 1/10 plus x equals 3/4. We know that 3/4 minus x will equal 1/10. And we know that 3/4 minus 1/10 equals x. That's the one that we're looking for. The whole thing minus the part that we know will equal the part that we're looking for. So that is going to be our equation. And there it is right here. So then they get common denominators, and then they solve the equation. This is all old. The new part is the picture along with the equation right here. All right, so number 1, Hannah ran 1/3 of a mile, David ran 1/6 of a mile. How much farther did Hannah run than David? All right, so what they want to know is how much farther. They're talking about the difference, and difference means we're going to subtract. So Hannah ran 1/3, David ran 1/6. How much farther did Hannah run? So we know that Hannah's number is bigger, even though when we look at the fractions, we may have a hard time figuring that out. I'm just going to take Hannah's bigger chunk minus David's smaller chunk, and that's going to be my answer. Okay, so if I wanted to draw a picture of that, gotta switch hands because now I need to write. Hannah ran further with the 1/3, so she's the whole part. Oops, I'm not on screen. And David ran a chunk of that. He ran 1/6, so we're looking for this chunk down here. So if I do the whole thing, which is 1/3, minus the piece, that's going to tell me what the other piece is. So there's my equation. I can write it this way, or I could flip it around. It doesn't matter. Okay? And then from there, I'm just going to solve it. Turn 1/3 into 2/6. 2/6 minus 1/6 is going to be 1/6. The other piece is 1/6. Okay? Number 4, Steve connected a wire extension that is 3/8 of a foot long to another wire that is half a foot long. How long is the wire with the extension? So here's a part, here's the other part. How much is the whole thing? So here's the part 3/8, here's the other part 1/2. How much is the whole thing? That's our X. Okie doke. Number 5, one more example. The smallest female spider measures about 1/2 millimeter in length. The smallest male spider measures about 2/5 millimeters in length. How much longer is the female spider? So I know the female is the whole thing. She's the longer one. That's up there. The male is this little chunk right there. And I want to know how much more do I need in order to equal the female. So 1/2 minus the 2/5 will equal my X. All there is to it, everybody. Here are your answers. Just kidding. Here are your answers. Here is the reteach page. And here is the practice page, complete with pictures. Good luck.